Okay, so it says use a computer algebra system. I'm going to use a computer algebra system called Sage. I'm going to launch it from my terminal. And what is a use a computer algebra system? It's abbreviated CAS. That's CAS. CAS means computer algebra system. Defines an approximate surface area of the solid generated by rotating the curve about the x-axis. Now, Sage is largely based on Python. It's got a lot of features to it that you should be aware of. One feature I'm using here is the ability for Sage to integrate. So what I want to do is I want to certainly reset just in case there's anything left over from a prior session that I don't want. I'm not having a tough time typing reset, right? So that's a command for reset, return, just reset it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to clear the screen because I'm kind of not disturbed, but I notice I got some information I really don't need anymore. You know, the release date, you know, what Python version are you using. So I'm going to dismiss that. And this is a command line, and what I'm going to do is I want to define a variable x, and I'm going to say x is a variable, and the variable is going to be the variable x. Now in Sage, x is already a variable, but it's a good idea just get in the habit of defining your variables. The next thing I want to do is I want to define a function f of x, and f of x, I'm looking at it, is e to a power, and the power is going to be, let's see, minus x squared, and that's divided by 2, right? Yeah, then okay. All right, I'll put this over here. The next thing I want to do is I want to integrate the surface area of this thing that's rotated about the x-axis. And this is a nice problem I've done. So I'm going to say I'm pretty good at the integrate now. Maybe I'm not fast at it, but I'm pretty good at writing it down. Integrate. All right, what am I going to integrate? It's going to be 2 star. Now I want a numerical approximation, so I'm going to kind of force Sage to not treat pi as an exact number, but an approximate number. So I'm using this n notation, which basically tells Sage that, you know, treat pi as a decimal number. And I'm going to multiply it by, what am I going to multiply it by? The function, right? F of x, that's the radius of it, being rotated, and then times the root. I'll type in square root, SQRT. And a lot of people get dizzy by this with the parentheses matching and stuff, but I'm kind of keeping track. And what's going to be 1 plus, well, something being squared. What's being squared? The derivative. So DIFF, f of x. And again, if you've been following me since Calc 1, or even through Math 100, you know I use Sage a lot in my notes. And I would encourage you to start to read that. All right, so this is respect to x. And I'm going to square that now. And if I make a mistake, I'll know I made the mistake. The variable is x, and x is starting at 0, and it's going up to 3. All right, now you might be surprised by the output. Let's see what happens. And I think I made a mistake somewhere. So I don't understand what the mistake is, and I got to read it. All right, it says perhaps you forgot a comma. So I need to look at this and wonder where did I go wrong, or where did I go wrong? So I'm going to just use the up arrow to get the command back, and I'm going to parse it. I'm going to read did I do okay, and I see it now. And someone said, where do you see it? I forgot to put a star in there, and that's a multiplication symbol. I have to tell Sage it's multiplication, otherwise it doesn't understand it. All right, programming language. If you're a computer scientist, science students, you know that this is something pretty important. You need to get that. Okay, so I got a number over here. I wouldn't worry about the cinnamon for that. I would really worry about the output. And I'm seeing a number over here. And I'm kind of curious, was I able to match the teacher's key? And the teacher's key I'm looking at over here is 8.565. You notice I have better approximation there, of course, but that's fine. All right. Now, I want to point out in my notes, I also type in the code here for it. You could also use this over here. And what I did was I actually, I pulled out the pi and stuff, and I wrote it down a little differently. So there's some flexibility here. But anyway, a good approximate is going to be 8.565. Again, we're hoping these tutorials are helpful for you. The bottom line is you got to get started trying. What do you mean by trying? Trying to use a computer algebra system. Thanks for paying attention.